Good day, my friends, and how are you doing? I am Eric Anderson, and here I am again with the Metronome Beats app doing up this little tutorial on how to actually use this app to help you become the rhythm guru in your school or in your ensemble. You know, that guy or that girl that gets asked, hey, how do you count this? Or how do you play this rhythm? Like, will you play the rhythm for me? So today what we're going to do is we're going to take the four rhythms, each of the four measures that we played in the previous video, and we're just actually going to map them all out to where you can hear a four measure or four bar rhythmic phrase. So the way to do that, we're just going to start from where we left off the last time, is we're going to change the beats where it says 4. We're going to make it 16. And the reason why is because 4 beats is the same thing as one measure when you're playing in 4/4 time. So if we want to play 4 measures times 4 beats, we have to go to 16 beats on this so that we can have that, so that we can get all of them. So just keep in mind that beat 5 is the beginning of measure 2. Beat 9 is the beginning of measure 3. And beat 13 is the beginning of measure 4. So what you're going to see here, and what I'm going to do as quick as I can, is I'm going to map these out, the first 4 measures that we looked at individually, and then I'm going to go ahead and play it. So this time I am going to set it up to where all my quarter notes are going to be played in line A, and all my 8th note phrases are going to be played in line B. So we will have 2 different pitches or 2 different tones that come into play. So let me just clear all this out here real quick, and I'm going to set this up, and you can see it all right there in your screen. So I have 1 and 2, 3, 4 is the first measure. Now I'm going to slide this over. 5 through 8 is the second measure, right? Which is 1, 2 and 3, 4, and that's the second measure. Beats 9 through 12 on the Metronome app is 1. There's beat 1 in the third measure, beat 2 in the third measure, beat 3 in the third measure, beat 4 in the third measure, and then finally the final measure, which is grid 13 through 16. What you have there is 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and. So this is an 8th note, quarter note, 4 measure rhythm, and it sounds like this at 90 beats a minute. So I'm going to let it go through one more time, and then I'm going to play along and just tap it out with my djembe. So 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 1, 1. I messed that up. 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 1. Actually, I want to try that one more time. This time what I'm going to do is I'm going to practice counting it out loud as I play it, just so that I can kind of get the count to go along with it. So it's going to run one time on its own, and then I'm going to come in with it. 1, 2, ready, go. 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and stop. So it really is that simple. You can literally set this app up to where it accurately maps out the rhythms that are written on the paper. And once you got the rhythm set, you get a feel for the rhythmic phrasing that you need to put together. And then whatever your instrument is, you grab your instrument of choice and you follow the sequence of notes as far as their pitch is concerned, and you just start to put you just start to place those pitches right on top of the rhythmic pattern that you mapped out here in the Metronome Beats app. The last thing I'll leave with you is that, and this is a beautiful thing about every metronome, slow it down until you can play it consistently correct with the metronome, and then gradually start to speed it up to the tempo that you need to get to. Like if I remember right, we're going to try this. I think that I can close this out like this. So you can see I still have it mapped out like this, but let's say we're going at 90 beats a minute and I can't quite handle it. I'm going to cut it down to 75% of 90 beats a minute, and I'm just going to let it go on its own. And you notice here how it's kind of counting out. Actually, I think this is a count in, a 2-bar count in, which it thinks is 32 beats. And then if you got it working there, you can push it up to 85. And if you nail that phrase down, you can push it up to 95. And you can do this too. This has been a great help for me. I'm going to open this up. And one of the things I'm going to do here is sometimes in the piece of music, I still want to hear like at least where the downbeat is at, like the first beat of every measure. So I'm going to put this blue, not this time around, not that it represents the 16th note, but it represents the first beat of the measure. So I'm going to put the blue on the 5, excuse me, on the 1, on the 5, on the 9, and on the 13. So every first count, we should hear that blue. So let's see what happens now. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So measure 1, measure 2, measure 3, measure 4. So these are some different ways that you can use this app to help yourself figure out what the rhythmic phrasing is, what it's supposed to sound like based on the fact that it's asking you to play it. Set the metronome at a tempo that you can get it consistently correct, and then play along with it, getting the note sequence of your piece of music, getting that correct. And then once you got that all dialed in, just start winding up the metronome gradually until you get up to or above the tempo of the song. So that's it, my friends. That is my rumor, and I'm going to stick to it for a while. That's it. I'm out of here. Have fun, and I will see you on the next video.